Ki khubor ka Batesi TV ka umdi basnyam bak penjaslian Rupa Premium Meghalaya.
Ka Sarkar Jilla Kepala Pyntreikam ya Hukum jom ka Yeng Besar Supreme Court Shen kan sepelong ya ka jingtho eksamen pat ya ka interview na ka benta ban Thungkam pura ya ki Nongtrei Adhoc ki betrei ha ki Pyntreikam per bala Thungkam hadien ka live way tere unak pra arajan nyo ha ka jing kran bekila pathai khobor menteri rangba ka jilla ukonat ki sangma ha ka arpandri tere unaila raja pesan ulaya thu ba ka Sarkar kan pelong ru ya ka jing Thungkam permanent nak benta ki nyaus pa pratli ki pus jong ka border wing Home Guard haka State Disaster Response Force. Nalor kini ka jingalang jong ka kunhun menteri kala menjur ru banwan ra ya ka jing penbai thamai ya ka service rule jong ka tanat fisheries.
Regarding the ad hoc appointments that were done in the past post 31st December 2007. If you recall, based on a Supreme Court ruling, the people who were appointed on ad hoc basis before 2007, 31st December 2007, we had regularized them last term itself. About 3,000 plus people were regularized. Just to share with the public and with all of you, what does ad hoc mean? Basically, ad hoc means appointments which were made against sanctioned post, but were made without following proper procedure. That is what ad hoc is. A lot of people get confused that ad hoc means temporary post or master role or casual. Ad hoc is, as I said, appointments that were made without procedure being followed, but against a sanctioned post. So, in the past, Supreme Court had given us direction that the government has the option to either conduct interviews and conduct examination and selection process for people before 2007, 31st December, or government can do a one-time regularization of those ad hoc appointments. And as a government, in the interest of the people working there, we decided to regularize those appointments. Now, after 2007, there were still ad hoc appointments that were made. And hence the question arose, what will the government do for those? Now, Supreme Court has not given us the liberty to go ahead and simply regularize those posts. Those individuals who are working in those posts. So therefore, the government has to go for a selection process. Now, just to share with all of you, if you don't regularize this post, then technically speaking, in the records of the government, these posts will always show as vacant, even though there is an ad hoc appointment against it, because the regular process of selection has not been done. And hence we have taken a decision that all vacancies will be filled. And hence these posts of ad hoc appointments made post 31st December 2007 have to be regularized by following a procedure of selection. And hence we will be going ahead and we will be conducting exams and interviews for these posts, which are roughly, as of now, about 1,500 of them. And an SOP has been made today, which has been passed by the cabinet. Now, the important part of the whole story is that these ad hoc appointments which were made, whatever the process not followed in the past or whatever steps they took at that point in time to appoint, we strongly feel as a cabinet that it would be unfair for us to not give them a chance to appear for those selection process and those exams. And hence, the decision we made today was, number one, to create an SOP, and in that SOP, number two, to have a provision to condone the age one time for those specific posts and individuals who are working as ad hoc employees in those sanctioned posts for the last 10, 15 years now. So therefore, we want to give the people working in those posts on ad hoc basis an opportunity to also appear for the test, because most of them are overage and they will not be able to give the exams, and hence they will not get the opportunity, fair opportunity to compete. And to avoid that and to give them that fair opportunity, we are giving a one-time age relaxation only for these posts that will be advertised. regarding the subsuming of 708 permanent posts of Border Wings Home Guard into the State Disaster Response Force. This basically is being done because there was a court ruling many years back where the government was asked to include these 708 people who were appointed at that point in time as permanent employees. And once they become permanent employees, we are not entitled to the voluntary personnel funds which are given by Government of India when it comes to the part-time volunteers. And as you're aware, Government of India gives that for the Border Wing Home Guards. Now, the decision we took today was that we will transfer these posts because they're already permanent employees based on a High Court ruling. And they will become State Disaster Response Force, as we're already paying for them. And the 708 post, which will then become vacant, technically, where we are not receiving funds from Government of India because they are no longer volunteers, they are now permanent staff, will become vacant because we will shift them permanently to the State Disaster Response Force, which will then create a vacancy of 700 people for us to take as volunteers. And we will recruit 708 people because this fund is available through Government of India and we get money for this. And we will make necessary provisions based on what we learned in the court ruling, which led to the permanent absorption of 708 to ensure that in the future that situation does not happen again. So that's the third decision that we took. We had some amendments that were made in the service rules of the Fishery Department. A very small amendment was there, which is in relation to some promotions that are applicable. In most of the service rules, there is no age limit or there is no duration of service requirement for eligibility for promotions. But in Fisheries Department, for whatever reason, there was a particular clause that was not allowing people with less than 5 years of service left to be eligible for a promotion if the post is available. So you know the internal department promotions are there. So this clause was never there in other departments, and hence we have removed it from Fisheries also, because we strongly feel that employees after serving for many years, just because this 5 years requirement is not there, they are ineligible for promotion, which I strongly feel is unfair. So we've removed that clause to make it equal for all, and like in other departments now, in Fisheries also, those who are eligible for promotion will not be denied that promotion because of this particular clause, which has now been removed.